Hello and welcome to the fall season edition of the Outdoor Podcast, proudly created by bowhunterplanet.com. This show is really cool because it does focus on outdoor activities and other things people like to do in the outdoors, including hunting, camping, fishing, and all the above. So make sure you guys tune in for this great season coming up in our fall 2024 podcast. The show today is brought to you in part by Easton Archery, Gas Bowstrings, Trophy Ridge, Moultrie Mobile, Vapor Trail, Burris Optics, The Bow Hitch, and caffeine provided by Deer Camp Coffee. Now, on to the show.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Outdoor Podcast. I'm Tim, this is Dave, and here we are.
Welcome.
We got some good talks tonight, I think, man.
A lot of interesting topics today.
Guess what we're talking about?
Well, we got our mic covers in, so if you hadn't noticed, it looks nice.
I was going to say hunting, but you know.
Oh, we're going to get there. We're getting there, yeah. Little by little here, guys, little by little.
I love it. It's been a little while since we've sat down together, so
yeah.
This is good. We've been doing a lot of camping lately, but yeah, it's been an interesting week. We had in Michigan, we're in Michigan, they had the yearly bear tag draw that happened. I think elk happens at the same time too.
Yeah.
But you don't expect anybody to really get that. You gotta have like 20 years worth of points or something like that in order to get it. But bear tag I've been putting in for a while, and I didn't get it. Didn't expect to get it.
Got a point. So I'm up to, I don't know, half a dozen or so. I think the area that I needed in, that I'm planning on doing it, I probably need like 10 to 13, depending on what year the draw is. But it was kind of cool because we had a buddy last year that drew. We did a hunt with him last year on his property. And what he was expecting actually is a couple other members that I know up at the hunt club. One was expecting to draw. Actually, there were two that were expecting to draw. One was not successful, but the other one was successful. But he's not using his bear tag, so he's going to actually transfer it to somebody. And that's how this whole like little story starts. So Interesting.
My buddy who did the bear hunt last year was thinking, hey, it'd be great, if you pull in this year, I'd love to do a second bear hunt, right? So day comes, the guy pulls, he gets the draw, and then they're looking at the transfer stuff, and he realizes in order to transfer a bear tag, it's actually very specific. You have to be either under 16 years or basically terminally ill, and you have to go on this portal and you can transfer it through, like anonymously through the state of Michigan. So they're calling around and they call me and they're like, "Hey, did your kids put in for a bear tag this year?" And I'm like, "You know what? I think I signed them up for the auto renewal on the app this year. I went, because I'm like, well, they're 14, 15 years old. So if I start now, by the time they're in their 20s, they could have a bear tag, to use in Michigan." And so I'm like, let me look. I'm like, yes, they did. And we're all getting excited because my kid is, he can get transferred that bear tag. And one of my kids can hunt bear this year in Lower Michigan, which is amazing. And then we're reading the fine detail, and they have to actually go and apply for the hunt. I did them points only. Oh, so I'm so pissed about it. So pissed about it.
See, now I would think, just throwing this out there, but I would think it would be the opposite of that. Like, it wouldn't be 16. It would be like 60, 40 to 60. Because when you want an older person to get a chance to hunt a bear, when the younger kid's going to get a tag over time.
Yeah, I mean...
You know what I mean? It's weird.
Yeah, I think part of it is, like, getting kids into hunting, which I get that part of it.
Yeah, I just find that odd, though.
But it seems kind of weird
that type of thing.
There was a almost record bear shot a mile away from my hunting spot, and it was done by, I think, a 9 or 10-year-old.
Wow.
That shot the bear because they were it was their first year that they applied and they were transferred the tag and ended up getting.
That happens a lot, though. I feel like the biggest bucks are shot by kids in our areas and all that. But crazy.
But, I do kind of get it. Under 16, you want kids to be involved.
I mean, it's exciting if you have the opportunity.
It was like the whole day. It was like we were at a high, then a low, then a high, then a low, and it's just like. Oh, man.
That was today.
That was Monday. That was 2 days. Yesterday, actually, is what.
Oh, that's funny.
But it was, So I
was just looking, I have 3 bear points because I pulled the tag in 2019 and I went and was unsuccessful. And then elk, I got 10.
Wow,
so I'm locking them in, baby.
Another
10 years
to go, baby.
That's why I said I'm gonna get it eventually.
It could be sooner than that.
Well, I put in for it last year. I didn't get it. I tried.
Yeah.
But I still got the point. So I'm gonna keep,
Yeah. So I've been doing points only because, I never thought about the whole tag transfer thing.
I didn't even know you could really do that.
Which you can't get it. I couldn't get it. It can only be somebody that's under 16. If I would have known that, I probably would have applied for one for my kids. But, it's just one of those coincidences. But I'm starting to rethink this whole just points only anyway.
Yeah.
The reason why I did it is because I really want to plan for the year that I pull a tag.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're doing it for so long, and I don't want to pull a tag in a year that I'm not ready to do it. Because you're talking about it, you find out in June.
Yep.
And then you're hunting, a couple months later. I want to be able to do all my research well in advance of that, so that's why I do points only for right now. But
I feel like, I would prefer... The simplest way to do this realistically would be to just plan a hunt in Canada and go do the hunt, because you're getting a tag, and the bear population is very much way higher than what we have here. Yes, you got to spend a little bit of money, but I don't want to say it's a guarantee, but it's very close. It's like an 80% chance you're going to get a shot.
100%.
So to me, it would be cooler to do that, and the reason is, excuse me. The reason is that you can go as a group and actually hunt. Whereas the Michigan thing, it's cool. I've done it. I did it with Kevin, and Kevin did it with me. But it's just the two of us. There's really no hunt camp. You can't really do a hunt camp because not everybody can get a tag.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, and we made it a little bit. It was a very small group when we did it last year. There was 3 of us. It was a mini hunt camp. But the other part of it too is there's so much more work that goes into a bear hunt leading up to it with the baiting.
You got to have a guide that baits for you.
And we did it. I mean, we did a DIY and it was successful.
Yeah.
But it was we had this pattern down where those 2 guys would go out, in the actual stand and hunt. John's shooting, Eric's with them. But I would sneak out in front of them, or I would actually take them in. I would bait while they're crawling up, and then come back, and then I would do that again to pick them up. So we had this kind of schedule pattern, worked out to be able to do that. But it was a lot. To be able to do, small army, if you will.
We did the same thing in Canada. So, John was there for that. That's what we do. Someone go in and bait while the other person gets in the stand. The baiter would leave, and then the bear would just come in because they would think dinner bell.
Yeah, I learned a lot, man. I almost call
I like the Cheerios though, and all the Lucky Charms.
We did a lot of cool
mush and
I made my own cakes.
Oh yeah, dude,
it was cool. I mean, at this point, I'm almost a masturbator. It's pretty cool. Man. It's fun.
Dude, Corey's got drums up north in UP of just different foods, molasses, all stuff. He just makes this mixture, and he's like, all right, let's go bait. And I'm like, that's the bait? And he's like, yeah, make it up yourself. And I'm like, really? All right. So me and Kevin go make these buckets of, you just take big things and dump it in there. And he's like, throw in a Twix, throw in a Twinkie.
We had the hookup a little bit because we have a buddy that works for a food, I won't say the name of the company, but he works for a food distribution company. And so they make food there.
Oh my God, that's
popular
great.
Snacks and stuff like
Leftover
that. So
stuff,
we got all the crap food, and we asked him for a little bit. Yeah. And we show up with the truck, or actually my other buddy shows up with the truck, and then he's delivering it to me to take up north. 300 pounds of just snacks that they're just throwing out in the garbage because they didn't make the quality.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
They do that all the time.
Crazy.
That's a good idea. Good use for it. Never thought of that.
Yeah, but it was fun, man. So it's no bear hunts this year for us, but we were hoping, man. It was a pretty cool day. So
yeah. So next year, I guess I might try to pull in for that bear and elk next year, because I'm thinking in my head might as well put in for the bear. I guess the worst case is you don't get it. The best case is you pull it. But like you said, you got to be a little bit ready with vacation time and things, because you need to go during the time you can go.
Oh yeah, there's very specific times that they open and close, and you want to try to be able to pull first.
First hunt.
Dogs run too,
those dogs, man, they really if they're in your area, you're in trouble.
Especially if you're up north on state property, like where we were hunting. It's private property. Nobody's running dogs around there or anything like that, but. You want to get it in the first round, no matter what you're doing.
The bear thing's hard with dogs because it's just I don't understand how it works, because I feel like, when Kevin didn't get his bear the one year, the dogs were on his bear and they shot it and we heard it, and it's like, how's that even possible? We're on private land. So they came onto our land. You know, they must have chased that. The dogs are going to chase. The dogs are dogs, you know. I mean, they don't know where they're at.
Yeah, they're going to chase it, but I don't think they can shoot it.
I don't know if they did or didn't because we heard it, but it was, we don't know how far away it was or whose land it was, you know. I know, that's what I'm saying. It was just very frustrating. And I told Kevin, we had that bear coming every day on camera, every day. And so we knew we were going to get the shot, but then the dogs ran that same day, and then that was it.
Well, it's almost like the difference between archery hunting and then opening day of gun.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's...
Archery hunting, and there's not a lot of pressure or anything like that, but that opening day of gun, anything can happen because a deer are just being pushed around everywhere, you know? So, pretty fun stuff, man. But I am kind of more and more looking forward to this year's hunting season. When you threw out the text this morning about, you know,
I just want to get the hunt
dates, I'm like, you know what? I haven't even thought
I know, but that's why I want to throw it out there because I figure I better get the conversation started.
Yeah.
Because you guys, no one's thinking about it, and that's the problem. Like, then we go, oh, well, I can't go, and I can't go. And so, like, we need to get a hunt camp. Like, there's no hunt camp this year because that's not going to happen. Like,
no,
I gotta,
man. We gotta get out.
We just got to figure it out. But I went, I was there the other day. I drove through our airport where we hunt, whatever, and
how's it looking?
Look good. Everything looks fine. Your blind's still there. I mean, good to go.
You changed all. Oh, no, we don't have the cameras over there.
No. Well, I got the cameras in now. The cameras are here.
We got to take them out.
We got our new Moultrie cameras, so thank you, Moultrie Mobile. But we got to get those put in. That's another reason we need to go early. I forgot. So we need to find a weekend to go.
Yep.
Get the stands prepped, and then put the cameras everywhere. We have a lot of cameras, too. So I'm really excited to get those out. Moultrie was awesome. They gave us, like, an unlimited code. So, like... You can put as many cameras on as you want. It just goes against our sponsorship. I'm like, that's amazing. I'm like, let's do it, you know. So that's even
a really good company to work with.
Oh, awesome.
And to be honest with you, super impressed about how easy the cameras are to set up.
Beautiful.
You know?
Yeah, it's quick data codes, you know, just everything's fast.
And the fact that you can Bluetooth connect it as well. You know, while you're there,
that was cool
the camera
to see what it looks at. You
really
could see what it sees. I thought that was really cool.
That was really cool too. So I'm really impressed with the cameras so far and what they're capable of doing. And they've been a game changer. I mean, these cell phone cams have been a game changer for, you know, several years now, being able to prep your hunts when they're coming in, what you want to do. And really, you know, you can land management too. Where are they coming from? What can you do, you know, to keep them a little longer? Where are they going? All that stuff.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That app's cool for it. Everything is cool about the Moultrie stuff. Very excited about that one. You know, it's just like I said, you know, when you start working with these companies and you realize, you know, how great these products really are when you never have touched one before, you're like, oh my God, this is really nice. And in the relationship you start making with these people, right? They're just good people. I mean, that's the other thing. You know, I've always just had this thing for people who are good people. Like Bear Archery, good people. You know what I mean? Like very easy to work with. Hoyt, great people. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just one of those things where then companies who are not so good,
great people.
Yeah, amazing people. But the people who aren't, you can tell, and then right away you're like, I'm good. You know, I don't want to work with that company. You know, it's just
Yeah, it is a struggle, man. Their personal relationships do drive.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, people, you know, have different thoughts. But anyway, all right. So I did find an article I was telling Tim about right before we started. I think it's an interesting one to talk about. And it says Americans' attitudes towards hunting and sport shooting report identifies decline. So basically, a study that was done is saying that they found that the public is less supportive of hunting and shooting sports. The study found that public approval for legal hunting and shooting sports is at 76%, which is a 5% decrease since 2021, equating to approximately 12.5 million Americans basically decline, you know, like flipping. So
yeah, my first reaction,
5% down.
I don't think I'm that surprised the way that, you know, we're going politically.
Yeah.
There's a very big squeaky wheel woke agenda, you know, going on in America right now, and this does not line up with their narrative at all.
Yeah.
For the weapons side of it.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Or the eating meat side of it. I mean, you take your pick, but, you know, private land ownership, private land rights, you know, I just don't see, you know the direction of where our politics going right now agreeing with hunting either, so I'm not that surprised.
It's very interesting, the part of it where the green movement, right?
Yeah.
The green movement, all that, but the organic part, where people are like, oh, it's organic and it's amazing.
The non-GMO.
So what's the difference in organic meat It's organic. Like if I go kill a deer, and it's organic food. Like it's
the difference
natural.
is they don't want to associate killing with what they're eating, and when they buy it in a store, they don't have to. But when they look you in the eyes and they know that you killed something, they have a problem with that.
Yeah, it's very, very sus.
Yeah,
I guess that's the word, sus.
Sus.
It's sus because they wouldn't be here if it wasn't for their ancestors doing that type of stuff. So it doesn't make sense to me. I find it very heartbreaking that in America we would look at the idea of not hunting and fishing sports.
Right.
The Second Amendment is just one of the most important things ever put in place to keep us safe, longevity. I understand there's issues with it. I understand people are having mental issues and have guns and there's issues. I get it. But at the same time, that Second Amendment protects us overall, which is much different than individual problems. And I understand that it still sucks and there's a lot of bad things that have happened, but you got to look at that as a numbers game. That's a very tiny, tiny, tiny pin needle to what the whole safety measure is for us protecting ourselves, to be able to protect ourselves from foreign invasion or internal invasion. I mean, it's more of a military thing, so I don't want to, like militia, I don't know what the word is, but
you're right.
The government
I'm following.
Originally was smart enough to put that in place because if someone was to invade our shores, another country, they're going to be up for a lot of fighting because everybody's got a gun.
Right, and the reason why they put it in place, I agree with you, that's the reason, but there's also a reason why they never thought about, incorporating something else for gun rights because it was like a God-given right,
Yeah.
Self-sustenance, taking care of ourselves, the American dream.
Just protection. I don't.
That's all hunting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like that's why I do it. I do it to fill my freezer first and foremost, to take care of me and my family first. And I'm going to be, 100% honest. There's a lot of people, and I'm sure some watching this show that you hunt because you have to too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
I don't know how many times, and there's huge programs in Michigan for hunters to donate their meat because other families need that to survive. And some of those families are hunting themselves because it's a cheap way to get the protein, the food that they need that they otherwise maybe couldn't get.
Couldn't afford,
Yeah, 100%. And so we have the resource for it. We just need to manage it correctly.
Yeah.
But that to your point about the whole green movement, they're all about conservation, right? Protecting the planet, protecting the environment.
I mean,
if it wasn't
for the hunters, the conservation would be nothing. I mean, it would be way worse. The companies would be shooting deer to sell the meat. You know what I mean? 100%. Like, think of that. I mean, it would be the conservationists are the reason that you have environments the way you do. Jackson Hole, Wyoming, having Yellowstone, having all these protected lands is because of conservation over the years. I mean, you wouldn't even have that if you just left it to capitalism. It would have been gone.
It would have been gone. All the animals would have been gone.
Look at the bison. It's a great example. They shot them all for bones and furs and left their meat. Didn't even take it, back in the day. That's what would happen. I mean, it would just be a bloodbath. Everything would be ruined that you love and know about nature. I mean, it would be... You can't rely on big money always wins. That's why in this case it doesn't because of the conservation efforts that were put in place to lock those lands up.
Yeah, but of course,
now mineral rights, that's a different story. Oil pulling from those, I get all that. That's a big issue. I don't want to get into it, but I'm just saying that part of it I get. There's a problem, but that's better than clearing the whole forest and killing everything.
I mean, when we talk about hunters' rights and the sentiment towards hunters, people are just so disconnected from our roots and where their food comes from and all that stuff. And
strange.
It could go either way. You educate people more on where their food comes from, maybe they'll go vegan, because they don't like where it comes from. But that's where it's come from for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, man. Something has to die for us to live, and that's the way of life.
It's energy. It's energy transfer. But I just can't, I personally feel like the venison portion of not just venison, but turkey, wild turkey, fish, venison, that stuff's very organic in my opinion. It's very clean and natural without chemicals, without, steroids. Most areas, I'm not saying it's not possible. I get it, but like steroids, like chickens get all those steroids 100%. And turkeys, and you're eating all that, when you feed on those animals, basically.
Yep.
But yeah, anyway, but here nor there. But again, protection's important. you know, everything about hunting.
We forget our roots.
Well, there's no, but no one's promoting the roots. Right. That's the other issue. No one's watching this show. No one's watching this show on some major network and like, oh, Dave and Tim today are talking about how it's important to the conservation. You guys are watching on Carbon TV, which means you're an outdoor person already, right?
Preaching to the choir.
You're not exactly. You're not the person we're trying to reach with this conversation. It's the person who is not a hunter, who's not. So share the video. Share it with your family who doesn't hunt. The ones who are like, oh, you can't hunt, it's bad. Yeah,
and get out there and join. I mean, there's a lot of conservation clubs out there that try to promote, bringing people into the woods and promoting conservation. But not only that, being advocates to our lawmakers when they're thinking about the laws that they're producing to be able to continue that tradition on for other people. That's super important.
So, Tim, what's your thoughts on the word when someone says to you or you hear this term? Because I heard it the other day and I really didn't know what to think about it because I was trying to think of myself and how I feel about things. But when you hear the word, someone says someone say along the lines of like, tell the conservatives that, or conservatives, basically. Like, what's your take on the word conservative?
Republican, right-wing Republican. That's what I think everybody kind of gravitates to nowadays is they politicize it and they say conservative means that you're a Republican and that you're more right than you are middle. That's my take.
Just curious. Because I feel like there's a lot of people in the country and in the world probably who are just kind of like in the middle. Not necessarily fully conservative or fully woke or whatever the other side is, the left. But like kind of in the middle, and they're just kind of like not sure about things, like not necessarily they think that's right or wrong, but they just, people around them talk and they're like, oh, yeah, but they're just saying that, right? Because they don't really know how they feel.
Well, make up a decision, man. You got to think about this stuff. You're either right or you're left. That's my, you want my real opinion? Those are the people that aren't thinking, You have not sat down in your life out in the woods by yourself one day thinking about what your opinion actually is. Because you don't know, and that's why you're in the middle.
But being the person who sits in that field by yourself doesn't mean you're a conservative. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, it means
so people are trying to act like
you're a conservationist. You're a conservationist, not a conservative.
Yeah, okay. I'm a conservationist.
Semantics, man. No, I was just ranting just to rant there, but there are a lot of people in the middle. I think you're absolutely right. More people.
I think the majority of people are in the middle. I think it's just the wave of like when we talk about voting and stuff. I think it kind of goes.
The thing is too.
Depending on certain.
I mean, that's a political thing. That's a thing that people can use for polling. And what do I need to say to capture this person's, thought so that they come to my side or they think that I agree with them so that they'll vote with me. I think I'm in the middle. But to other people, I might not be in there.
My whole conversation with this, or bringing this up the way I did, is this thing, 5% decline. Okay, why is it a 5% decline? Because the people are going, from a conservation feel to a more like don't care, but they don't. That's what I'm saying. Does it have anything to do with conservation? Because I don't think it does. I think it has to do with shooting sports, and people are getting a bad taste for shooting because of all the issues. What this said,
right?
Like, I guess you have to read the whole thing. Yeah.
What was the population of people? That's the thing about polls and all that stuff is like I've done statistics work before, and you can manipulate numbers 10 ways from Sunday to make it look like what you want
to see. Yeah.
So it's not.
So it's a bunch of baloney. It could be malarkey for all we know.
All polling is baloney.
Yeah, I mean, we're never going to know.
Except for ours, if we put one up.
If we put a poll, it's legit.
Yeah, we really want to know who you are,
Who are you?
Who's the best archery company out there,
Okay, so let's talk about golf carts since we're kind of like shift here a little bit.
That's a big shift.
This golf cart, it's outdoor related. So this golf cart search I've been doing has been terrible.
Well, explain to everybody why you've been doing a golf cart search.
So we recently got a property that is a community camping property, and it's got a lake. It's got a lake and everything, a couple lakes actually. And you can like use golf carts in the community. You can ride around, use them to go to the beach, and all this. So my wife has been really pushing me, like we really got to get a golf cart. I don't want to be driving cars on there. I just want to take the golf cart and go to the pool or whatever. Not the pool, but the water lake house. I'm like, okay.
Until I drive up behind her and honk my horn.
So I'm like, all right, so let me look into it. So I've been searching. Golf carts are ridiculously priced right now. They are through the roof.
Yeah.
Literally minimal. I would say the cheapest thing I found was probably around $4,500. You're talking like a 2020, it might not need much, but something, right?
But new on average, they're probably
new's like
7
10.
grand.
No. 10.
For a 4-person.
10.
One. Yeah, for a 4. I'm
like
talking
$9,000, $10,000.
Like the golf course golf carts that are just basic of basic is what I mean.
Yeah, you're right. Probably around 8 brand new or something. I don't know, but it's still a lot. It's not nearly a.
But yeah, $10,000.
So Kevin,
like 4-seater for sure.
Kevin is out west right now, and the kids they saw a golf thing. And there's where they sell golf carts, like a huge thing, right? So I told Connor, like, oh, so check this out. So I said, he sends me this. Look at this.
$9,000.
Look at the year though. 2013 precedent, 4 lifted, $9,000. And so I'm like, wow. And then here's this. This is probably it right here. Okay, yep, it's nice looking. And then you go to this one.
They are nice looking. They look brand new.
Look at that one. So this one. So 2018 for 7,500. So as you can see, right, it's got the lights.
Electric or gas?
These are all electric right here. And in the background, you didn't even show the ones that I really wanted to see because they're too much money. Like back here, this green one. Look at this. Sorry, guys, I know you can't see this, but look at it, 10.5.
Wow.
See that?
Yep.
That's a newer looking one. Okay, so once he told me all his prices, I'm like, damn, this is not. I might as well just go to Lowe's and get the Caddy one for $9,000. They got a nice one there. It's beautiful, lithium battery. I'm like, but still a lot of money.
Or whatever.
Well, no, it's called Caddy, the one up there. It's a new brand. But I was like, I don't know. So anyway, I've been searching Facebook Marketplace, like literally deep diving this for weeks, and then today I saw a girl posted one for $3,500, and it was a 2012 Cub Cadet. Like golf model, no backseat or anything. We still have to do all that. So I'm like, I'll give you $2,500, and it's hard to negotiate with these right now because they're so high value that you really can't get a deal. And so she said, well, the lowest I really want to go is $3,100. And I said, well, listen, if I can pick it up, if you want me to pick it up today, I can come literally within the hour for $2,800 cash. And she said yes. So I went and grabbed it, got it. And it's awesome. Like, it's great. It's fine. And I asked the guy, her dad brought it, and he's like, he drove it there actually, which is funny to pick up. And he said, I asked him about the batteries. He's like, oh, you're good. He goes, these batteries will last a long time. He goes, because my neighbor's got one, and he said, just, swap 2 batteries every summer and, get 2 new batteries.
Are they just car batteries?
Yeah. They're like Trojan, like big. Yeah, there's 8 of them, so 8 times.
So Magnum, not Trojan.
The most advanced range-finding bow sight is now even better. Introducing the Oracle 2 from Burris. Based on customer feedback, we improved the pin brightness control, refined the LRF adjustment system, and brightened the aiming ring. There's still no glass to scratch, fog, glare, or break, and the fail-safe 20-yard pin has your back no matter what. At the push of a button, you instantly get the yardage to target. Extend your ethical distance with the Oracle 2 from Burris.
But Easton match-grade shafts undergo a far more meticulous straightness check, with razor tolerance at both ends, the center, and the critical quarter locations. Discover the ultimate in precision and made in USA quality. Visit your authorized Easton dealer and pick up your Easton Match Grade Pro Shop Series arrows today.
Established in a small town in Kentucky in 1981, a company that produces quality products that archers have come to rely on. I started shooting with a Scott release and have passed the tradition on. As I've aged, the company I started with continues to innovate and produce the premium products it always has. My dad always told me, never forget where you came from. Well, I haven't. Shoot with confidence. Shoot a Scott.
For more than 20 years, Trophy Ridge has developed tools that bow hunters trust and continue to lead the way in bow hunting innovation. Our field-proven products dish out dirt naps all over the world. We've manufactured and sold millions of products along the way, each one strategically designed to give you a distinct advantage in the field. From the backyard and competitive courses to the backcountry and Midwest cornfields, our products remain lethal, accurate, and continue to help you react to the situation at hand. Trophy Ridge accessories give you confidence regardless of the situation. Our sights, rest, stabilizers, quivers, and releases set you up to be successful season after season. There are plenty of factors to think about on the hunt. Your gear shouldn't be one of them. We're Trophy Ridge, and we build the tools that bow hunters trust.
We are outdoors people, boating, fishing, hunting, and we are coffee lovers. My husband and I, we met at a coffee shop about 20 years back. So we've grown to love different blends, different beans, and different types of coffee. And throughout our time together, we decided that we wanted to create something for ourselves. So that's where this all came into play. And it's not just an outdoorsman, it's women, men, children. It's the community that come in here and they like it. They sit down at our cafe, they might have a venison hot dog, a cold brew coffee, and they enjoy their time here.
I know what you're getting at with that, but I don't know. I think they're called Titan, but for the older viewers, you know what he's talking about. So anyway, and it came with a charger and all this crap. So now what I'm doing is buying the light kit, buying the back seat, and then eventually, we'll be able to ride around it up north, and
Sweet.
It'll be fun.
You'll go your 15 miles per hour. I'll pass you on my bike.
Yes, you will pass me on the bike. No doubt about it. It's not fast at all. It's smooth and slow.
I know.
But the kids really wanted one. Yeah. They like to ride around that. I'm sure when the kids are there, they're going to take it and go. Yeah. Your kids and mine together.
I mean, I'm all for that.
And when it's got four, they can go ride around and go to the beach and whatever. So it'll be fun. And like I said, I don't know what the plan is yet with it. I don't know if we're going to leave it up there and anybody can use it, or if she wants to, if we're going to use it here. I don't know what she wants to do. I'm assuming we'll leave it up there. I mean, that would be the ideal idea. But if we do...
You have a little golf cart community around here, don't you?
Kind of. That's what I said. There's a lot of people use them in here, too. That's why I said I don't know what her plan was overall with it. But she wants it for up north. So I just don't know if she meant, keep it there. Because here's my concern.
Well, Shannon, you need to come up north.
That's what I said. Here's my concern, though. Getting it there in the roof. I don't want it blowing off and breaking, so I'm trying to okay, well, I don't want to be taking it back and forth all the time because that's a lot to deal with. I'm going to have to triple strap this thing
so the roof
don't blow off.
I mean, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, we're getting another enclosed.
Oh, eventually. We're still getting a bigger one, yeah. I mean, it'll fit eventually. I don't plan to leave all the four-wheels all the time. That's just once in a while.
You need to upgrade. What you need to do is upgrade your camper to a toy hauler.
I want. Yeah, that's a good idea. Just pull it right in the back.
Exactly. And then you're good to go.
That's a good idea.
You got your own personal enclosed. You don't have to worry about it at all.
The funny part is you said about downgrading. I thought you meant because I got that truck and it's a downgrade. That's why I was like, whoa, how'd you know about the truck? I'm like, that's weird.
Know about the truck.
The engine's a downgrade something. How do you know about that?
I love it.
So yeah, it's been a crazy couple weeks. It's a weird time, guys. It's when you guys are watching this, it's probably gonna be about August. It's like we're in this lull in July. We're in a lull. And it always is for outdoor content and space. It's kind of a waste of time. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
that time frame.
Too, you got a lot of people taking time off because they just slowed down from the big push from all the shows, and they're starting to gear up for the fall time. But you got a lot of people that are in this industry that end up taking a little bit of lull. So.
The issue you have is during the lull time, you'll get a couple companies who are like, "Oh, we're going to launch in September. You need to have content to us now." So you'll see a lot of that happen, and so we will have that. That'll drop in, but that's okay because, like I said, I think if we could pick a weekend to go north anyway or west to get some things done, maybe spend one night.
Yeah.
That'd be fun, and we can hang out, and then at the same time, or we can go there, then go north. To the campground if that's something we can work out in a triangle.
We'll get over there on a Friday and then head up north.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options there, could do that too. So anyway, all right, guys. Well, that's it. I know we kind of went all over the place, but we'd love to hear your opinions as usual. If you guys have comments, comment where you can on our content about any of these topics. Because again, if there is a decline, which I can see that happening, how do you fix it? How do you flip it around? We don't have you need more superstars in the sense of like
protest in the streets, man.
Nah, you need like what was the sniper guy's name who died? Kyle something.
I thought you were going a different direction.
No, you need like heroes. You need like heroes that are also outdoors, like Chris Pratt, like a Chris Pratt person who's promoting archery, and not just archery, but outdoors lifestyle. Meat eater, that type of stuff. You need to keep that going, so that it becomes very popular.
We need good spokespeople.
Real quick, we'll leave this with a couple things that we've. Like some shows and music we like. Newest music I've been listening to is Benson Boone. The guy's amazing. So just check him out. You guys get a minute. Different type of music, but really good. And he has I noticed 3 or 4 of his songs are so good. I'm like, wow, this guy's better than I even thought. One song was one thing, and then 2 songs another thing, and then all of a sudden 2 more. I'm like, whoa. This guy knows what he's doing. How about you? Anybody?
I'm stuck on Matt Carney, man.
Still on Matt Carney?
That new album.
Jeez.
It's every time. But
Take a break.
I know, but I haven't taken a break from it. It's a really good album, this one that just came out. So, check it out.
Shows and movies. Any shows or movies you've seen?
Not really.
I'm going to go ahead and say the latest... Go ahead.
No, I will. I was going to say this. I started rewatching How I Met Your Mother.
Ooh, I've never seen that, actually.
Dude, it is the best
sitcom
ever.
I've never seen that show. I just saw a thing
probably
about it,
the
though.
third time that we've rewatched it in our house because we like it that much.
That's awesome. I just finished the House of Dragon, the latest episode. That was really good.
It just came out, yeah.
The Targaryens, and I actually then started watching Game of Thrones again because I wanted to see the area when they're with the ice dragon and all that. Because I was like, I can't remember how the dragon died. And then he threw the spear and it hit it. Did you watch the show?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
But some of those people.
Too bad. Sorry. Spoilers. Spoilers alert.
From
too
10
late.
years ago.
Too late. Yeah. What else have I watched? I'm trying to think if there's anything else good. Oh, I've been watching this show on Freeview. I think Freeview. It's like Amazon owns it. It's a yellow one. Anyway, they got this show. It's called Greatest Frontiersman, and it's like a doc. It's not a documentary, but kind of it's like actors, but then they tell the story of was it Boone Crockett or Boone something? All those guys, like the famous people. Davy Crockett. They got Daniel Boone. I mixed them up.
Yep.
The Boone. They got Hugh Glass, the guy that movie was about. Reverend.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, they tell their actual stories, like the bear attack. They tell all these important people who lived, and you would be amazed by what these people. How true of outdoorsmen they were. These trappers back then were unbelievable, man. They would walk 100 miles through the densest forest, the Continental Divide. You name it. These guys are walking on foot by themselves through the forest, having little campfires with a musket, fighting off Indians. It's crazy.
Something we could never do now.
No, I'm like, how did this guy survive this stuff,
Well, and they got famous for a reason, right? There wasn't probably a ton of people back then that did what they did. There was way more of them. But those people got famous and became myths.
But they had these interesting camps. So these trappers would come to these camps and they would trade and play cards and have jerky and have campfires and talk and drink or whatever.
The real hunt.
Then they go off and then they come back to those camps. That's how they're like, oh, did Jim come back? Oh, Jim hasn't come back. It's been 2 weeks. He's expected back. And then they go search parties for him. It's crazy.
You find out Jim shacked up with a goat and hasn't come back. He got married and he ate some wild berries that made him crazy.
Dude, they ran a lot from the Indians, dude. That was a big deal back then. Bet. Trapping and stealing hides from beavers and stuff. That was if they caught you on their territory, they would kill you. You had to fight. It was not it's not like they say, hey,
there were no conservation laws back then to protect them. Mm-mm.
Oh no, they trap as many as they could, and one guy
on other people's land.
One guy, they got caught by the Indians. They were on the canoe and they were going down. They turned a corner and they're just right there with their bows, and they made them dock. And the one guy just tried to run. They killed him. The other guy, they stripped him naked, and they said, run. We're going to give you a head start, and then we're going to kill you on foot. They're all on foot, though. They weren't on horses. So he starts running, and all these guys start chasing him. You know, after they give him like, 50 yards and they start chasing him, the youngest of them actually catches up to him after a while. But the guy's so like strong and like been doing it so long that his stamina's unbelievable. Like he's just literally outpacing these guys by like, and he's barefoot and he's just, never stopping, never turning, never getting tired. He gets like 400 yards from the party, but one guy's catching him, like one kid. And so he decides to turn and face the kid. Kid comes at him with a spear. He just deflects it and kills the kid instantly because he's been out. He's like a warrior and he's been there. Yeah. So then he goes. Then of course the party finally comes up on the dead kid, and then they're mad. Right? He's like a teenager. They're like mad now, so they're still searching for him. He's still got to run. He just jumps in the river, man, and just swims on a log like for miles. I'm just like, this is crazy stuff, man.
What a life.
I can't even imagine. But anyway, check that out on a freebie. And, like I said, have fun. We'll see you guys. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning into the show today. We hope you had a good time. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and like button where you can. You can find us all over every platform. And don't forget to join our membership programs. Have a lot of fun with the community here and have a chance to win some really cool products. We'll see you soon.